Welcome back to e-learning program. Today's class we are going to discuss lesson 3 Discovering Tet the Saga Continues part 3. Now let's recall the previous sessions. The teenage king Tut's death was mystery. People wanted to find out the mystery. Zagi Hawass, the Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, started doing research on Tut's mummy. To separate Tut from his adornments, Cortes men removed the mummy's head and severed nearly every major joint. Once they had finished, they reassembled the remains on a layer of sand in a wooden box with padding that concealed the damage, the bed where Tut now rests. Cortes group removed the mummy's head and sliced off the major joints. After finishing, they reassembled the remains on a layer of sand in a wooden box and covered with cotton or cloth and sealed. Here, the word severed means broken off. Archaeology has changed substantially in the intervening decades, focusing less on treasure and more on fascinating details of life and interviewing mysteries of death. It also uses more sophisticated tools, including medical technology. Archaeology has focused less on treasure and more interest on Tut's life and death. It used more advanced tools and advanced medical technology. Here, decade means 10 years. Fascinating means interesting. In 1968, more than 40 years after Cortes' discovery, an anatomy professor x-rayed the mummy and revealed a startling fact. Beneath the resin that cakes his chest, his breastbone and front ribs are missing. Today's diagnostic imaging can be done with computed tomography or CT, by which hundreds of X-rays in cross-section are put together like slice of bread to create a three-dimensional virtual body. Here, an anatomy professor X-rayed the mummy in 1968 and found some bones were missing in his breastbone and ribs. Modern days diagnostic imaging can be done with CT scan because CT scan would create three-dimensional virtual body. Anatomy means a study of the structure of humans and other living beings. What more would a CT scan reveal of Tut than the X-ray? And could it answer two of the biggest questions still lingering about him? How did he die and how old was he at the time of his death? King Tut's demise was a big event, even by royal standards. He was the last of his family line and his funeral was the death rattle of a dynasty. King Tut's death was a big event. He was the last of his family line. It was a great mystery. So the people wanted to know two questions. How did he die and how old was he at the time of his death? Demise means death. Dynasty means regime. But the particulars of his passing away and his aftermath are unclear. Amenhotep III, Tut's father or grandfather, was a powerful pharaoh who ruled for almost 4 decades at the height of the 18th dynasty golden age. His son Amenhotep IV succeeded him and initiated one of the strangest periods in the history of ancient Egypt. Tut's particulars were unclear after his death. Amenhotep III might be Tut's grandfather or father, was a powerful pharaoh. He ruled almost 40 years. His son Amenhotep IV succeeded him. He initiated one of the strangest periods in the history of ancient Egypt. The new pharaoh promoted the worship of the Aten, the sun disk, changed his name to Akhenaten or servant of Aten. He moved the religious capital from the old city of Thebes to the new city of Akhenaten, known now as Amarna. He further shocked the country by attacking Amun, a major god, smashing his images and closing his temples. The new pharaoh Amenhotep IV promoted the worship of the Aten, the sun disk, changed his name to Akhenaten. It means servant of God. He moved his religious capital from the city of Thebes to the new city of Akhenaten. Now it is known as Amarna. He attacked Amun, a major god, and smashed his images and closed his temple. Aten means the sun god. It must have been a horrific time, said Ray Johnson, director of the University of Chicago's Research Center in Luxor, the site of ancient Thebes. The family that had ruled for centuries was coming to an end, and then Akhenaten went a little wacky. After Akhenaten's death, a mysterious ruler named Smenkhkare appeared briefly and exited with hardly a trace. Ray Johnson, director of the University of Chicago's Research Center in Luxor, said that the ruling of Akhenaten was a horrific time when the family who ruled Egypt for centuries came to end. Akhenaten went a little wacky. After Akhenaten's death, Smenkhkare appeared briefly. He ruled a short period only. And then a very young Tutankhamun took the throne, King Tut as he is widely known today. The boy king soon changed his name to Tutankhamun, living image of Amun, and oversaw a restoration of the old ways. He reigned for about 9 years and then died unexpectedly. Regardless of his fame and the speculations about his fate, Tut is one mummy among many in Egypt. After Smenkhkare, a very young Tutankhamun who was known as King Tut took the throne. He changed his name to Tutankhamun, which means living image. He reigned for about 9 years and then he died unexpectedly. Now, Tut was one of the mummies in Egypt. Amun means a major ancient Egyptian god. How many? No one knows. The Egyptian Mummy Project, which began an inventory in late 2003, has recorded almost 600 so far and is still continuing. The next phase, scanning the mummies with a portable CT machine donated by the National Geographic Society and Cements, its manufacturer. King Tut is one of the first mummies to be scanned in death as in life, moving regally ahead of his countrymen. No one knows that how many mummies are in Egypt. The investigation about mummies from 2003 has recorded almost 600. It's continuing still. King Tut is one of the first mummies to be scanned. They used a portable CT scan machines which was donated by the National Geographic Society and Cements. A CT scan machine scanned the mummy head to toe, creating 1700 digital X-rays images in cross-section. Tut's head, scanned in 0.62 mm slices to register its intricate structures, takes an airy detail in the resulting image. With Tut's entire body similarly recorded, a team of specialists in radiology, forensics, and anatomy began to probe the secrets that the winged goddesses of a glided burial shrine protected for so long. A CT scan machine scanned King Tut's mummy from head to toe. It created 1700 digital X-ray images in cross-section. The measurement of image was just 0.62 millimeters. The team of specialists in radiology, forensics and anatomy began to probe the secrets. The winged goddess protested the burial ground. Eerie details means every strange details. The night of the scan, workman carried Tut from the tomb in his box. Like pallbearers, they climbed a ramp and flight of stairs into the swirling sand outside, then rose on a hydraulic lift into the trailer that held the scanner. 20 minutes later, two men emerged, sprinted for an office nearby, and returned with a pair of white plastic fans. The workman carried Tet from the tomb in his box. The workmen were like pallbearers. They climbed up a ramp and took the body outside. But the time the wind was very horrible. They rose on a hydraulic lift into a trailer where held the scanner. Pallbearers means one who carries dead body. $1 million scanner had quit because of sand in a cooler fan. Curse of the Pharaoh, joked a god nervously. Eventually, the substitute fans worked well enough to finish the procedure. After checking that no data had been lost, the technicians turned Tut over to the workman who carried them back to the tomb. When the body was scanned, there was a heavy wind, so the work was stopped. One of the gods joked that it was due to curse of the Pharaoh. They got substitute fans and scanned the body. After the scanning was over, Tut's body was taken to the tomb. Less than 3 hours after he was removed from his coffin, the Pharaoh again rested in peace where the funerary priest had laid him so long ago. Back in the trailer, a technician pulled up astonished images of Ted on a computer screen. A grey hair took shape from a scattering of pixels, and the technician spun and tilted it in every direction. The body was outside for 3 hours. The technician pulled up astonishing images of that on a computer screen. They could find out the clear 3D images of King Tut's head. Neck vertebrae appeared as clearly as in an anatomy class. Other images revealed a hand, several views of the ribcage, and a transection of a skull. But for now, the pressure was off. Sitting back in his chair, Zahi Hawass smiled, visibly relieved that nothing had gone seriously wrong. I didn't sleep last night. Not for a second, he said. I was so worried, but now I think I will go and sleep. The neck bone appeared very clearly in anatomy class. All the images were clear. Zahi Hawass, who was doing the research, worried about the safety of the mummy and result. After the process being over, he got good relief. I was so worried, but now I think I will go and sleep. By the time we left the trailer, descending metal stairs to the sandy ground, the wind had stopped. The winter air lay cold and still like death itself in the valley of the departed. Just above the entrance to the Tut's tomb stood Orion, the constellation that the ancient Egyptians knew as the soul of Osiris, the god of the afterlife, watching over the boy king. Zahi Hawass said that he was much worried, but he could go to sleep well. After keeping everything in the king's Tut's tomb, the wind had stopped. The air was cold in the valley of departed. Just above the king Tut's tomb, Orion, the constellation, The soul of Osiris, who was the god of afterlife, gods the boy king. Dear children, I hope you have understood the lesson. Thank you.